Hi guys, my name is Tamara Chambers, and this is Tamara's Never Seen, and today I am watching Young Frankenstein for the first time. I've spoken a bit about what I kind of grew up watching, and Star Wars, and Indiana Jones, and animated Disney were on the list, but also two movies that I watched countless times were Wizard of Oz and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And Gene Wilder sadly passed, and he is a comedic genius, doing stuff that nobody was doing back then and nobody's doing now, really. Just a whole other level. So I figured I should probably get with the times and maybe see Young Frankenstein. My gosh, these lips are too green. Can't do it. Can't do it, guys. It's too much. It's distracting me. Okay, that's a little better. A little less green. Maybe that's worse. It just looks like I've eaten a cupcake or something. So beautiful. Yeah, so anyway, I am very excited to see this movie. I always have hesitation watching super old movies because it's kind of like going back to a really old video game or going back to like an old console. I was playing N64 recently and I was like, oh man, this was my childhood, but gosh dang it if these graphics don't suck. Similar kind of thing, so I'm always like, man, I'll just sit through it, it'll be fine. My dad made me watch Casablanca as a kid and I was like, I did not want to do that. And he's like, just sit through it, it's gonna be great, and it was great. So I have very high hopes for this movie. And it's about time I watch it. So let's see how it goes.
Tamara's Never Seen.
I cannot believe how much I enjoyed that movie. Oh my gosh. Holy crap, it was so funny. Everything was so detailed and hilarious. Wah! Wah! That's how I feel, apparently. So you start off on Gene Wilder, who is playing Frederick. Frederick is his name. He's playing Frederick Frankenstein because he wants to distance himself from his grandfather, Frankenstein. He's a brilliant scientist and he's teaching a lesson and he gets very, very upset about this student asking about his grandpa, Frankenstein. So upset that he picks up a scalpel and just stabs his leg with it. And then he's like, all right, guess we're done here. Class is dismissed. And then this really weird guy that I don't think you ever see again comes up to him and brings him a box. I don't remember what's in the box either. This movie really impacted me, apparently. And he's like, you've got to go to Transylvania for your grandpa's wishes. So he goes. Before he goes, there's this incredibly funny scene between him and his fiancée Elizabeth, and they're saying goodbye, but she doesn't want him to touch any part of her because she's going to a party and she doesn't want him to ruin her makeup or her hair or her dress, and it's so funny and real relatable. Hashtag relatable. I really enjoy it just off the get-go how funny the first female character is that you have an interaction with. I think that's awesome. I can't read this. There's lipstick everywhere. Oh, okay. He gets off the train in Transylvania and Igor meets him, not Igor, Igor's grandson, Igor, meets him at the train station, and it's hilarious. He's such a good character. This movie is a delight. Then you meet Inga, and she's hilarious and adorable. Then you meet Frau Bluka, who every time her name is said, horses neigh, even if she's not around horses, and it's a wonderful gag. Really funny, super simple, super funny. You're in the castle and the set is out of this world. Crazy good set. Costumes, super incredible. The hilarious bookshelf scene, hilarious. I always wanted a bookshelf where you like pulled something out and there's a lever and it's like a surprise passageway. I wonder if I have that. All right, Ike, let's see what we got here. Do you see any levers anywhere? That's the best bisexual erotica. What's that doing there? I'll just take that and find the lever another time. Here's Wizard of Oz 2. And I'm back. Where were we? So they find Frankenstein's old lab, and they're going down this staircase, and it's a really cool scene, but honestly, all I can think about and watch is Inga's bedgown. It is on point. Looking good, girl. I want a bedgown. I'll be right back. I mean, it's the closest thing I could find. It's a Fallout onesie. It's so green. Oh, it tastes delicious. That's way better. Okay. Don't look like a sparkly alien. Oh, I kind of want to look like a sparkly alien. Okay, anyways. So then they find his grandpa's library, and he's like, wait a second. I don't want to distance myself from Frankenstein. I want to be Frankenstein. So he's like, I'm going to make a monster myself. And then the movie makes the most funny, simple penis joke ever executed in film. Well, that goes without saying. Well, that goes without saying. Well, that goes without saying. So they grave rob a body, and then Igor tries to get a brain, and he breaks the brain that Fred wants, and so he gets a brain that just says, abnormal brain, do not use. Super simple, but hilarious. I loved it so much. So at first the monster isn't alive, and then it wakes up after a few days. Oh my god, the sedatives charades scene is so brilliant and hilarious. Also, they're very good at charades. So at this point, the monster's sedated, but Frau Blocko, or whatever her name is, lets him go, and it's revealed that she was dating Victor Frankenstein. And it's a hilarious reveal because she's like, yes, he was my boyfriend! Which is just a hilarious term for her to use. This movie is a GD delight. I can't cuss. I love it AF. Doesn't even work. This movie's funny AF. That's it, that works. There we go. Working around that YouTube censorship. So they're able to capture the monster, and Fred decides he needs to let the monster know that he's loved, and that's how he's going to be an accepting and kind monster. And he's like, you're handsome, buddy! And the monster's response to being called handsome is when somebody calls me pretty in real life. I'm like... So then Fred and the monster become best friends, and they put on a they put on a demonstration for the public, and it is perfect. It's perfection. Holy crap, the mix of dancing and singing and comedic brilliance that you get from Gene in this scene is out of this world. He's completely ahead of his time. So good. So then the audience starts booing him, and he gets ashamed and scared, and the monster freaks out. And everyone's mad because he's freaking out now, and it's kind of hilarious. Like, it's this once dead monster come to life, dancing and singing for them. They're like, that's not enough. And he's like, oh god, I'm really embarrassed that you don't like me very much. And so he gets a little upset, obviously, and then they chain him up. Sad. So after that, to console him, Fred sleeps with Inga, which has been building the whole time. Then they get word that Elizabeth is coming into town in a couple minutes. Oops! The monster ends up taking Elizabeth from her room in the castle to some cave somewhere. I'm not sure where it is, but then they totally do it. 7 times. And it's a hilarious scene. At first I thought it might be going in the way of kind of like rapey vibes. It felt that way at first, but it was not that, and it was super funny. And she sings opera when she's having sex, which is a first. I've never seen anyone do that. I've seen other things, but not that. Then though, they lure the monster back to the castle with music, and they are trying to help him have more brain. So Fred is like, I will give him some of my brains. And so they put little helmets on and little ropies and tubes. It's a technical term for it. And they conduct this experiment. But all of the public is like there with like pitchforks, and they're all mad, and they come in and they turn the experiment off. But right at that time, the monster had gotten enough brains, and he stands up and makes this really wonderful and touching speech about anger and love and what his purpose is and how much he appreciates Frederick, and it's very nice. Then Frederick marries Inga, how it was supposed to be, and the monster marries Elizabeth, and it's hilarious. And at the very end, they put the button on top of just like, Inga's like, Fred, he got some of your brain, so what did you get in return? Penis jokes. So a couple things I really, really loved about this movie. It surprised me. Like I said, I'm always kind of hesitant to watch older movies. It shocked me with how raunchy it was, but tastefully raunchy, I guess. So funny. Everything was hilarious. Igor, oh my lord, so funny. You met the policemen when they were like grave robbing, and he was so funny. It was a small part. And then the police chief guy with the wooden arm, hilarious. Also, all of the women were super funny, which I really appreciate. So they were still like just they're the romantic interests, but they're not like just boobs on screen. Like Elizabeth was hilarious and way different than Inga, who was hilarious, and then Frau Cobra or whatever her name was, so funny and good. And they were all incredible comedic actors. It's really sad that we lost this incredible comedic, wonderful human being who will never make anything ever again. But he left us with such incredible performances and movies that are so fun and good, and they make you think about things, and they like make you ask questions, and as a performer they really inspire you to kind of step out of your box, or like step out of the box and make really great things. And hey, could be worse. Could be raining. Worth it.